Hello and welcome to the penultimate weekend of racing in the GT Cup Championship 2019. We're bringing you all the action from Donington as the battle for those all-important wins intensifies. And as always, there's a great mix of cars on the grid.
Beautiful blue skies here at Donington Park for the 6th meeting of the 2019 GT Cup Championship, and we kick off the action with the sprint race. On the front row it's Sam Neary and John Seal. Row 2 is Graham Tilley and James Webb. Third row, Jim Geddy and Graham DeZille, with Tom Barrow and Josh Jackson on the fourth row. Row 5 sees John Whitehouse line up alongside James Guess. Onto the 6th row, and it's Top Cats Racing have got Jensen Lunn at the wheel this weekend with Richard Marsh alongside him. Chris Murphy and Brent Millage on the 7th row. 8th row, Ron Johnson and Fraser Smart. And on row 9 sees Jesper Henriksen and David Frankland. So we're about to get this race underway, and it is the young Sam Neary that has that pole position in that beautiful, monstrous Mercedes. Dad on the pit wall watching him. He'll be taking over the sharing the action, should I say, in the pit stop races. In peels the safety car. It's about time to go racing, and look at them bucking their way down this start-finish straight, and off we go. And Sam Neary's trying to make sure that the power of that Mercedes really comes into its own, and he does. Slightly washes away from the apex a little bit there, but John Seal knew that was coming. There's a new addition to this grid as well. It's Jim Geddy at the wheel of the new this year, brand new to him actually, first time out in the car here this weekend in the Super Trofeo, so the brand new version. You can see the slightly older car just behind it, sort of giving him a good run for his money is James Webb in that number 13, the blue Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Such a beautiful sight, this whole field of GT Cup cars making their way down the Craner Curbs. Now they're rising back up again, and there's the big all coming under pressure. There is Graham Tilley, already that big Nissan Nismo GTR. He's still getting to grips with that car, with Will Tregurtha helping him out again here this weekend. And he's got the two Lamborghinis in close attention already. No one's in close attention to our leader at the moment. Cracking job by Sam Neary. He's made the break for it. John Seal has also made his own break away from the rest of the field as well. So still the number 55 car, John, doing a cracking job this year in that car. And the two Lamborghinis hounding down Graham Tilley in the Tech-Serve Nissan, the number 6 car, down the start-finish straight. Jim Geddy filling up his mirrors. First one side, then the next. He looks up the inside as we come into the first corner. Snap! He goes straight across his nose. He's not having any of that. Graham Tilley made sure that Lamborghini was going to sit back. We have a replay here, and it is side by side. Oh, and it's the number 44, the car that had been leading the championship. John Whitehouse at the wheel of 44, just jumping across the curbs there, but thankfully Jensen Lunn probably knew that was coming there, kept out of the way. And we've got a switch here, and that was just a loss of power as he came out of the chicane onto the start-finish straight by the looks of it for Jim Geddy. And now the older version of the Lamborghini, the GTC version of the car, is down the start-finish straight, and he sweeps across the nose to take the lead of... he was already in the lead of GTC, but he's just got past the Jim Geddy car. Remember, Jim still getting used to this car as they sweep their way down through the Craner Curves. And that moves him up just one more position up into 4th place as it stands at the moment. There's Josh is the driver for today. Josh Jackson today. Simon Orange is going to be joining him on the Sunday to continue their assault on that. The GTH title that they're desperately trying to do, possibly even higher than that, who knows. But this is talking of GTH, here's the battle. Last year's champion, 72, Chris Murphy, and Brent Millage. He says he's not massively a fan of this circuit. The Craner Curves really does sort of shake it up. Remember, it was new for him this year, the Porsche. Last time we were here at Donington Park, he was still in the Ginetta. That was Jensen Lunn in the Marcus. 2 Aston Martin side by side. Great to see the Speedworks car. Ron Johnson at the wheel of that number 32. But Chris Murphy dives through. And look at this. We've now got all that battling going on. It's been joined by the faster cars that are trying to side their way through. And the one who's done a cracking job there, Graham Tilley, he's managed to sort of almost belie the size of that car and cut through it, as though he was just not just a hot knife through butter, but also a tiny little car sweeping his way through. But great job there. edge, a little bit wide there from Sam Neary, but just shows that he's pushing hard. Talking of pushing hard, Graham Tilley's now right up on the back of the John Seal 55 Lamborghini. That's what happened in that lappery, and equally the two Lamborghinis are back together, and they're just encountering the Marcus. Jensen Lund, first time behind the wheel of this car. He doesn't know which way to go, and there's just a little bit of contact there as Jim Geddes just tried to take advantage of the situation, just tipped him into a bit of a spin there, and he stopped on the outside of the circuit. Hopefully he can get that going again. Just wait and see if he can get a bit of a belch of... and there's the red flag as the just a bit of flame come belching out the back of that. I think that's just where they have to go through the restart. Yeah, look at that, typical. The car's got going again now, but the red flag came out, and so we're going to have a sprint version of the sprint race. So here we go. It is still at the front. Sam Neary, John Seal, Graham Tilley, and there you've got James Webb in the number 13, the blue Lamborghini Super Trofeo. And just behind that, you see the Ferrari with the Dayglow yellow flashes. That means that is Graham DeZille in the FF Corsa Ferrari. The only one, because Lucky Christopher has hurt his foot. Get well soon, sir. And great to see next to Graham DeZille is return for the Saxon Motorsport BMW 150 GTR as well. Tom Barrow at the wheel of that car. And he's now, in fact, that's the fight for the lead between Tom Barrow, and just behind is Jensen Lund in his first time out in this Marcus. So that is for the lead of GTB as they come down through the Craner curves. And that means that if you see the blue car, the blue Lamborghini of James Webb, that's leading GTC with just behind Graham DeZille, the Ferrari with the Dayglow yellow flashes. So that is a fight for the group honours there. Who's this coming through there? It's the 21, Josh Jackson. He's leading GTH as it stands at the moment, but you've got a whole gaggle of GTH cars just behind. There's the GTA leader as well, the number 8 BMW, Jeff Steele Racing, Richard Marsh at the wheel of that one. There is number 20, as I say, the great return there for Saxon Motorsport. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of them. Down they come towards the chicane again, the Roberts chicane onto the Wheatcroft straight for yet another lap, and it's another lap where Sam Neary is leading the way. As, look at all the GTH cars line astern there, so we kind of got them teaming up somewhat here on the main, but this is the GTC car of James Webb. He's getting involved, as the Webbs always do, with the GTO cars. They just love the David and Goliath thing, and he's desperately trying to find a way to get past Graham Tilley, but Graham Tilley's not going to make that easy as they're finding more and more power from that car, more and more drivability from that car, as well as Graham himself getting used to that car. Look at this GTH fight. It's a little bit further down the order in the GTH, but Chris Murphy, last year's champion, and Brent Millage in the Porsche just behind him, but the Aston Martin has the nod as it stands at the moment. This is also a fight in GTH, the 82 car, a great addition, Feathers Motorsport, James Guess at the wheel of that one, and he's got the car that sort of arrived at the last round as a championship leader, but had bad luck and so lost that lead to the Webbs as we arrive here this weekend. This is a great battle for GTB. Up they go, and it's Jensen Lund is just doing an incredible job. The first time out in this Marcus, and I'm totally different to anything. He's been off, I think it's like 5 years or something like that since he last raced. But here comes our leader down towards the checkered flag, and it's a great victory for Sam Neary. A fantastic job there, and he had to win that twice. And Graham Tilley still having to hold off the attentions of the GTC leader. James Webb doesn't need to do this, but he's a racer. He loves to do it. John Seal comes home in second. Then it's Graham Tilley. James Webb comes home just behind Graham Tilley, but takes GTC honours. So there we see Sam Neary, John Seal, Graham Tilley, the top three, and their GTOs. James Webb and Graham DeZille, 4th and 5th and GTC leaders. Jensen Lund takes GTB. Josh Jackson, 8th overall and GTH winner. Richard Marsh, 10th, and he takes the GTA honours. A fantastic performance by all of those guys. John Whitehouse, Chris Murphy, Brent Millage, Fraser Smart, David Franklin and Jesper Henriksen. It looked exciting from our side. Let's hear what the drivers have to say on the podium.
Yeah, it was a 6-minute sprint, so I just pushed as hard as I could to try and at least set a fastest lap, which I think I managed, so I was happy with that.
Some of the toughest overtaking was the traffic. There was plenty to keep me occupied, but two good starts, but unfortunately kind of got shoved off on the second one and a bit of contact in the first. But yeah, good close racing, and glad to get off to a winning start.
We're a little way behind with the McLaren, so as many points as we can get is the goal. So you know, it was good. We pulled away in the beginning, which was nice, and then the red flag I hoped it wasn't going to restart, but wasn't so lucky. So no, we still got the win, so it's all good.
But we got up in front of some of the GTH cars, so this is my local track. I know it like the back of my hand, so a bit of experience in the car now, and it was all going well today.